Hi, this is TapCat. Welcome to part 4 of the Civilization 5 Brave New World tutorial series. We are on turn 81 and we have 2 cities. Our second one is about to hit 4 population, which is a bit of a milestone. Obviously, it still has a long way to go, but we are approaching, kind of a critical point here. We need to accomplish a few things, and to some extent, they conflict with each other. So, for example, I do think it's fairly important that we build a national college before too much more time goes by. At the same time, I'd really like to build our 3rd and 4th cities as soon as possible. Because, the reality is it takes a number of turns before cities start to become genuinely productive. I think what I'm going to do is focus on building the National College first. So one of the things, you need to do when you come up with a plan like this is realize if I want to have a national college, I can't build any more settlers for a while. Because the minute I plop down a new city, that just means there's one more library that I have to put up first. We still need a library in Sparta. At the moment, I'm quite a few turns away from being able to buy one. But what we're going to do, we're 4 turns away from a caravan. I am, in fact, going to buy a library here. And I will begin construction immediately, once that's done. I'm also going to start work on a cargo ship. It's going to take, longer than I would like to finish this. But as our population goes up, we should be able to start cutting this down. The time to completion, I mean. Now, let's move our hoplite into friendly territory. Let's move our archer up here. And we'll pass the turn. So it's very easy when you have it in the back of your mind, oh, I want to build a national college. Oh, I want to found another city. Like you can just build a settler without thinking. And the next thing you know, you've plopped a settler down either when you're in the middle of building your national college or right before you were about to start construction on it. And you won't be able to do it, So it's definitely something you need to think about. In some ways, I feel like I should have found a way to, start working on it already or have a 3rd city by now. But I don't know. We've been pushing reasonably hard. And I guess I could have done it, but it would come at the expense of some of the very basic structures that we put up in Athens. And I don't know. I often wonder whether you're really ahead when you go for stuff like that or not. When I say go for stuff like that, when you push like that in kind of a one-dimensional way. I feel the same way about a lot of attempts to build early wonders. And whether or not the time and the resources you tie up to build that instead of other basic needs, how good is that really? The true answer is it kind of depends on the wonder and it depends on what your strategy is. For example, if religion is very important to you, you need Stonehenge if you want to make sure that you're going to get one. And most of the time, there's so few hard and fast rules. So there's definitely times where it's worth it, but I don't know if those times are as often as people do it. But my goal is still to found these cities as soon as possible. Now, I am going to send this to Tyre. They have a quest. Actually, both they and Wellington have quests for a trade route. Now, I can't start on the National College yet, and I don't have enough money to buy a library to be able to do that. What I'm going to do instead is start a worker. I think a lot of times I tend to skimp a bit on the workers. And I really want to make sure we have enough to develop these tiles, keep our population growing, etc. I also want to improve this mine. We don't necessarily need the happiness, or we shouldn't once I take out this camp. But here, let me do this. Okay, now I've always said fire with your ranged units first if you have one. I actually am going to purposely hold off and not use my ranged unit this time out. The reason is I'm concerned that the city-state could have a military unit somewhere back in here where I can't see. Like, let's say, I believe you can move through oasis tiles. That's I'm pretty positive of that. And if I hit this guy too hard this turn but don't kill him, I could just set him up for the kill for someone else. And I want this kill. Okay, well, there you go. And he's pretty weak, so whoopsie. Well, that's awkward. That horseman's not going to make it any easier. Okay. By the way, I also just remembered, so we finished optics. I wonder if I can come up this way and see anything in her turf. Is there anything over? Yeah, no. I wouldn't be able to get him out anywhere except there. Let's try it. He's not doing anything else, so. Okay, well, let's do this. With luck, he'll just kill him. And he did. Let's clear the camp. Awesome. Now, I would like to come up here, I think, and we'll start developing this one. So, Wellington is now our ally. Only by 7, but, you know, that's 14 turns worth of being ally for Alexander. And Tyre, they're going to be our ally for a long time. It looks like 88 turns. And this is assuming we don't do anything to help promote that. And I don't mind, you know, trying to do exactly that. We will try and prolong it. Now, what would I like to work on next? I kind of want to fill in this whole row and then start working our way up to theology and get into the medieval era. So I'm fine. I guess I'll take this one first, but I definitely want the masonry as well. Actually, are we close to getting this? Well, we're 14 turns away. All right. Fair enough. By the way, is there anything I can do to get to 400 just a little bit quicker? Probably not, no. Not without sacrificing growth that I do not want to sacrifice. Now, I'm probably only going to do 1 or 2 more installments of this Greece series. I kind of want to just show the decisions you make in the beginning, at least as far as showing kind of the full playthrough. Yeah, that's fine. And actually, when we cut down that forest, that should give me a nice bump on the cargo ship because of the production boost. Okay, minor victory. Let's attack with the archer. A little anxious about leaving the archer there. But, yeah, I'm going to give him a major mugging right now, I think. That was pretty good. Okay. And hopefully I'll pick up 12 more influence with Wellington when I kill this guy. That's what should happen. Hopefully he won't move off. Okay, good. He's attacking my archers. I mean, not that I want my archers to get too badly hurt, but I don't think it's a real danger. Okay, perfect. So now my archers got experienced for having gotten attacked. In fact, they're almost ready to get promoted again. Let's go ahead and see if we can just finish them, and we did. And let's bring our boys home. Now, it's very possible we won't be able to go far. If Boudica's borders expand out into the ocean, we won't be able to, but, you know, we'll see a little bit. So that did boost our influence with Wellington. So now we have like 36 turns of being their ally. So that's a lot more comfortable. Actually, that makes me pretty happy. And I want to pay attention to my gold. It's so easy to lose sight of this, but it looks like we're about 4 turns away. 3 now, I guess. From, yep, okay. That's what I was afraid of. And I don't think I have the technology. No, neither one of us has civil service. So I can't do open borders with her. And I don't have much choice but to bring my scout back. But at least we saw a bit. No point coming up this way because I'm going to be blocked by here. So, yep. Okay, let's go ahead and do that to keep the growth train going. And I'm just going to bring them home, like I said. We'll heal up at home. It's 10 times faster. That's not actually true. It's twice as fast, but it feels faster still. So, one of the reasons that I also would like to get this third worker on the board is not only to do more tile improvements, but I definitely want to go ahead and get cranking on, I guess we'll do trapping first. I want to get going on a road between Sparta and Athens, and then obviously we're going to build more cities, and you know, that'll be more tiles we have to improve, more roads to build. I don't know for sure if we're going to go for a diplomatic victory, but as you can already see, like, just the little bit of work we did and how many turns of being allies with these guys we have. And I think my happiness was like 1 before, and now it's all the way up to 17. It's so worth it to do these things, to become city-state, you know, to gather city-state allies. And it's worth it for any civilization, but because as Alexander, you get to keep them for literally twice as long with your influence degrading slower than anybody else. Oh man, it's really huge to have that kind of ability. I guess I'll go ahead and come down here. We'll start working on the gems. Okay. Sure, let's get in our home turf. And that's fine. We'll just go ahead and disembark, if that is the correct term. I'm not really sure. Okay, our new worker is done. I guess I'll go ahead and move him here and start working on the mine. And then I'll move the other one here and begin a farm. Let me just make sure. Okay, so we may not be getting the notifications anymore for Athens. I'm not positive about that. But let me go ahead and reassign those tiles, at least for the moment. So I'm over 400 gold. Let's go ahead and purchase a library. And then let's go ahead and build us a national college. So I'm supposed to be 25 turns away. I wonder if I could speed that up. Building this out will speed it up a bit. And maybe instead of building a farm, I should do something like chop down the forest here. You know, maybe I'll do that. Because I really want to get going on these next cities as well. Oh, I should go ahead and garrison and save myself a little more money, since we're pretty badly depleted. And if you don't recall, one of the social policies we took makes it so that a unit that's garrisoned inside a city does not cost you any gold. Okay, we will do what I just said. I'm going to go ahead and go in here. So I wasted a little bit of movement, but whatever. And let's just go ahead and knock out masonry. And then I'm going to start working my way up into theology. But I want to be ready when the stone comes up, which is 7 turns from now. So I don't really have a whole lot of time to waste anymore. And let's see. You go ahead and just heal up. Okay. Wow, just like 1 turn resting at home and already they're a good part of the way back. Okay, and I would probably chop this forest. Oh, I should have done this one, but it's okay. I just would have preferred the river land, I suppose, but this too shall pass. Oh, that's my scout. Okay. I was thinking that was a worker for a minute, and I was going to improve this. I probably should have done that before I improved this, but that's okay. Because this is already a good tile, and I'm about to grow, so this gives me another good tile to work. And then now I'll come down, I'll build the pasture, we'll get another hammer out of that. It's all good. Do I want... Yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead. We'll bring the scout over this way and just kind of see if there's anything off that coast. I don't know how likely it is, but it's not like he's got anything better to do at the moment. Let's go ahead and come down here. Okay, you can just go ahead and chill. And what I may do, I may sacrifice a little bit of growth here. Athens is about to grow. I may just let that new worker stay here. So even as it is, it's only 9 turns until we grow again. And those extra hammers took some turns off of the college. So I'm good with that. And we finished our cargo ship, which is pretty terrific. I think at this point, I'm going to agree with most of my advisors. I think I want a trireme. A trireme, I think, can actually get up here. It can at least go part of the way. We really need to at least try to start exploring. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I think we'll go ahead and just take drama and poetry here. I mean, I also need civil service, but drama and poetry is a prerequisite to that anyway, and I think it'll be a lot easier if we come up into theology. Ultimately, I'm trying to get to education, but if we can get theology, all of these become cheaper. So let's go ahead. We'll take drama and poetry. And we'll go ahead and bring him out into the drink. Now, let me just make sure which one didn't get the trade route yet. Wellington. So let's do that. And this, again, this is just going to push even farther out. Like, well, I haven't gotten the credit yet, but I'm going to pick up, I believe, 40 influence. That's a ton. And so Wellington is going to be our ally for a long time. And I think Tyre is too. Yeah, like 70, 78 more turns or something like that. 76 now. Okay, so we chopped down the forest. That actually didn't do as much for me as I thought it would. This was definitely the one I should have cut down. This would have been a better spot for a lumber mill, but I don't know how likely I was going to be to work a lumber mill anyway. So I'm probably just going to chop down this forest too and not really worry about it. It'll all just help the National College. It's not going to help it as much as it would something from the early game that's really cheap, but okay. So now I've got my credit with Wellington, and we're up to 54 influence more than we needed, so that's like 108 turns. And if we get any more quests, we'll do them. You know what I think I'll do? Since protection only affects your resting point if you're at 0, I believe this will work. I'm at 113. Let me go ahead and revoke. I should, yeah, I'm still at 113. So I believe I can go ahead and revoke this. And then later, if somebody tries to intimidate them or attack them or whatever, I don't have to worry about taking the hit. Oh, that's interesting. So there's a ruins over here. Cool beans. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just do a farm. And that'll chop the forest down first. Give us the 20 hammers. How much is the college in total? 185. So it's a small percentage. But I'm only doing 9.6 a turn. So that takes 2 full turns off the pace. I mean, that's not bad. I'm just coming over here to kind of scout one of my... Oh, okay. I was going to say to scout one of the 2 city locations that I have in mind. I'm trying to move this along because there's... Like, the decision was when to build the National College and the settlers and stuff like that. A lot of this episode, I feel like, is just more clicking next turn and kind of doing really simple stuff. I don't want to take up a lot of time on that. Okay, so we just picked up another hammer, so now we're up, instead of 9.6, we're at 10.8, which is fine, I suppose. Let's go ahead and try to finish this farm. I actually wonder, yeah, you know, no, it's too late now. I maybe should have come here since I was working this tile and built a mine there. We're about to enter a phase where we're doing a bunch of settlers. So I may do that next turn. Okay, let's go ahead and beat this guy up. So I guess he was like the 1 unit left from the camp that used to be up here. Let's see what they got for us. Oh, that's cool. And yeah, he went to Sparta, and I mean, that's not bad since that's the one that's newer. It's almost as big as Athens now, so... Pretty sweet. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this plan. I'm going to build the mine, and that way when we start building the settlers, it will help me get them out just a little quicker. I'm actually thinking I may literally just go settler, settler as soon as this is done. And kind of get our period where we're doing that over with, and then from that point on it'll be more about building up like ships and building up our science more and stuff like that, but we can kind of get out in the world. Okay, so we're the first to meet Prague. They're cultured, which is actually pretty sweet. I wish that we had met a city-state that had either faith or culture earlier. One of the reasons I haven't gone out of my way to build shrines or anything yet is that, you know, like you can generate so little faith without having either a natural wonder or Stonehenge or something, unless you can get a city-state ally. And since we didn't have access to one that was religious, picking up like 2 faith per turn or something, it's not that attractive to me. Wow, okay, well this was actually a pretty tough fight against the hand axe. And I'm just trying to reveal more of the map with my scout. So, okay, we've crossed turn 100. And I would say, as a general rule, you know, what you do in the first 100 turns, it is going to go a very long way towards deciding. I might as well just heal him up here. I'm not really in any big hurry to use him again. Toward deciding whether you're going to win or lose the game. Now, it's not like 100 turns exactly is the magical number. It's not. Let me think for just a second. All right, we'll come over here and develop the quarry. And then I think what I'm going to do is start building that road I was talking about earlier. We're actually doing okay on money, and so it's not like urgent, but at the same time, the more money we have, the better. But what I was going to say is, you know, I feel like our first 100 turns or so has done a pretty reasonable job of setting us up for the long game. And, you know, if you don't manage to do that, it's not impossible to win, but it's going to be a lot harder. We're about to catch up on science production. Like, we'll probably be putting out as many beakers per turn or very close to it as anyone in the game. And we're well on our way to getting to education so that, you know, we can keep up that kind of pressure. We are about to pop out our 3rd and 4th cities. And so by the mid game, those will be, you know, good, viable cities that can make stuff without taking a million years. And whether we choose to go for domination, I think our geography makes that kind of tough, because taking this city alone would be awkward. Not impossible, but I would probably rather just try to build a navy than to get a land force out here and go through all that crap. But domination is possible. A science victory would be possible. A diplomacy victory would be very possible. You know, that's not bad. If you're at this phase of the game and you can see that it's plausible to have a path to 3 different victory types, you could be doing a whole hell of a lot worse than that. I'm actually going to stop here, I think, and we'll pick it up again next time. I'm probably, again, I'm only going to do like 1 or 2 more of this particular game, at least without taking a break and going to other material, because I really want to focus on the early game at first. So I am thinking we'll do a different start where we take a different approach, where we use a focused strategy. And I don't know that it will be perfectly optimized any more than I would claim this one was perfectly optimized. But it will look different. We'll try to do it for, you know, very much a specific goal in mind, and see how that works, and see if people get anything out of it. But that's all for now. Thank you for watching. I hope we see you next time.